a game changer of our farming landscape. It's now also my privilege and honor to welcome again a very special person to us. AFAAS is part of a continental network. So what we are doing here is actually the whole Africa here and there are watching, which we normally do even when we travel to other countries. So please allow me to welcome here to the board, to the podium, Dr. Lilian Lihase, ED, AFAAS, to give her remarks. Thank you so much for being with us 3 powerful days. And in all of those days, we have engaged you to the full. So thank you so much. Karibuni kuongea na audience hii.
Well done. Karibuni kuongea na audience hii. Oh, I wonder if that is Swahili, is swag, or is Gen Z language. We don't know, but well done. Thank you very much, team. It has been an exciting moment to have you all. I say each of us have our own uniqueness. When we look at Prof, the chair of AFAAS, he is unique in his own way in protocol. Some of us are not protocol people. We were trained as extension officers, where you just reach in and speak. So I am standing on the protocols that he has already designed. AFAAS team, where are you? They are not here. Where are they? Yes. I just want to thank the team that has supported AFAAS to be here. Maurice, I can see you standing behind there. When my mother would call, he would tell us, run. Whether she's calling me Lilian or Rosmita, so long as she called, you were supposed to run. I saw others who are not here. I saw Shakira somewhere. I saw Daniel somewhere. And others who have been here throughout the week. As I stand here, I stand on the strength of this team and others who have been here throughout the week. The chair says I've been here 3 days. No, I count myself 4 because one of the days I was very active online. Thank you very much. I want to appreciate this team for the support that they gave to the AFAAS team. I was making fun to Beatrice. Please, when a mother is speaking, she's never stopped. So allow me to speak. I was told I'm the mother. Yeah. I was making fun to Beatrice 3 weeks ago when we were planning this extension week. And I told her, last year's extension week, I was here, though I had come all the way from Nairobi. And Beatrice worked. And after the extension week, when I was calling her, she was so sick that she could not respond to my calls. And I told her this time we will not allow that. Make use of the AFAAS team to support where they can. And I thank God they were available. Thank you, team, for your availability. I could have also requested Beatrice, and they tell me, no, we are too busy doing other things. But they really came in. Thank you very much. Pass my appreciation also to the other team members who are not here and were here in the course of the week. For us as AFAAS, we are so excited to have been part and parcel of this extension week. And even just to be allowed to participate in supporting this extension week. It is possible I would have requested Beatrice, and she says, no, we are well able as Uganda. But as we realize, AFAAS, though stationed in Uganda, it's a continental platform. And our mandate is to bring together all the continental actors, or all the actors in agriculture extension and advisory service into one platform to interact, to learn, to share experiences, and build one another. We do this through our country fora. Uganda is one of the country fora among the other country fora that we work with. While we are at the continental level, Uganda and other country fora are at the national level to strengthen the national agriculture extension and advisory systems within their countries aligned to the country priorities. And we are so grateful that AFAAS has taken over this role so well. Well done, AFAAS. An applaud for AFAAS. We can all agree that this has been a strategic platform that has been convened by AFAAS. I've heard Beatrice talk about, at the end of it, if you're an AFAAS member, Beatrice, all of us here are now AFAAS. Kindly say, I am AFAAS. Because you have an interest in extension and advisory service, isn't it? Some are looking at me as if they're saying, who are you? What I'm trying to say, AFAAS consists of all actors in extension and advisory service in Uganda. And since we have shown ourselves interest in extension and advisory service, then we are AFAAS. Well done for being AFAAS. Kindly clap for yourself. This gives us a joy as a continental body when we see convenings like this. Within the CADAP implementation, we have convened as agricultural research, extension, and education. This I mentioned during the day one. To be able to support the implementation of the CADAP Kampala Declaration. Woe to us if it's not implemented in Uganda. Can you imagine? Kampala Declaration. CADAP Kampala. Let's celebrate ourselves. And let us commit to be the team that will lead the implementation of the CADAP Kampala since it was launched in Kampala, and for the next many years it will be called CADAP Kampala. And therefore we have no option but to deliver on this. Within this, extension and advisory service has been mandated to be able to deliver, especially on multi-actor platforms. And as I always speak in every continental forum, agriculture transformation can never happen without agriculture extension and advisory service. Agriculture extension and advisory service is the system integrator. We are talking about enhancing or improving reforms in agriculture extension and advisory service, where we are progressing from just being advisory service providers to becoming agriculture extension system. I have talked about this over the week, and within this system, the system has actors. Here we are. We are the actors in this system. Once we are coordinated in a system, we will be able to develop standards that are able to guide us. So this is the first multi-actor platform we are developing, which will be the agriculture extension system in Uganda. And in the system, we will have different actors: the research, the education, private sector, farmer organization, the farmer, us who are trained as extension service providers, who will be the integrators of the system. Any extension and advisory service provider here say, aye, we will make it. So long as Uganda does not succeed, then we'll say it is the agriculture extension and advisory system in Uganda that has failed. But Uganda has never been a failure, so we are making it, isn't it? We are happy to have been part and parcel of this, and within this, we have said so much has been done, so much has been said. But after this has been said, we have had a lot of learning. And every time I have said we are not going to work in silos anymore. For us to ensure that what we have spoken about comes to pass, we have to work as a system. And this system shall be led by MAIF and AFAAS, with MAIF providing the support, AFAAS being the convener, and all of us playing our critical roles in this system. And as we play the critical role in this system, then the components of the system shall ensure the success of this system. So being part of this, we recognize that agriculture transformation in Africa will only happen when the extension system is in place and is working as expected. And that's where professionalization comes in. We are the system integrator. And through this engagement of this week, there are key priorities that we are thinking about as AFAAS. First, we must strengthen the national agriculture extension system through multi-actor approach. And here we have started. Stronger alignment among the AES actors is essential to deliver integrated, impactful services to the farmer. And not only to the farmer, to every other person within that particular system, of which the farmer is at the center. Professionalization of agriculture extension and advisory service is no longer an option. It is a must. AFAAS is working with partners to advance the frameworks of accreditation of extension services, setting standard, and continuous capacity building. And that's why we have Rosmita in our midst. So if AFAAS doesn't perform on that, my dear girl, I usually call her my dear girl, I have announced you before people. If it doesn't perform, ask her, why are we not moving? Why are we not being accredited? Why are we not having standards? And why are not having continuous learning? So that it shall not just be a process of waiting once a year, but it shall be continuous learning. AFAAS is also emphasizing on scaling innovations and farmer-centered approaches. We have been here this week. We have seen the innovations from below. We are working together with the researchers. Congratulations to AFAAS, who are now signing an MOU with NARO. Farmer-centered innovations, how does research come in to ensure that these are taken up in the way that they should be, incorporated or integrated into the research framework and delivered? MAIF says they have signed an agreement with the universities to ensure that extension are trained in a responsive way. You talked about the transfer partners, Professor. The transfer partners is a program that was started by Reform and AFAAS. And this is not just training. It is training extension workers who are responsive to the needs of the continent. And what was the need? It's upon them to become so innovative, to identify the need and be able to deliver. And that's why we are focusing when we are looking at extension and advisory service. And that's why it becomes critical to have education, to have research, and to have extension, with extension being the systems integrator. At the continental level, AFAAS works through our country fora. Excellent UFAS. AFAAS, I've always said you are an excellent team of which we can benchmark. And therefore, we wish to congratulate UFAS for this extension week that has been very successful. And the success is not just because of what has happened. The success is because the actors came together to plan and to work as a team. Every moment, and no meeting I miss to say, it is through interaction and learning that new ways of doing things emerge. And therefore, in this extension week, new ways of doing things have emerged. And that's what we call innovation. So, as we come to the end of this, we must push from dialogue to action. Our African Union Commissioner of DAB is very emphatic when he talks about action. And any meeting that we meet, he will say, you have discussed. How do you bring it back to the ground? How do you meet the last mile? As I said, extension is the foundation, the first mile. But we have delivery systems to the last mile. Consistently, I say when I talk about the last mile at our level as AFAAS, it's not just the farmer. The farmer becomes a last mile when we are taking research knowledge to the farmer. The researcher becomes the last mile when we have to becomes the last mile when we really have to understand what is happening and we have to take to policy. And that's the centrality of extension and advisory service as we deliver to the researcher, to the farmer, and to the policy maker. And that's how we become a system integrator. So, what are we going to do after this? It makes no sense when all these discussions take place and we remain here. My call is for actionable recommendation to strengthen the agriculture extension delivery system and to ensure alignment. So, what do we expect? As AFAAS, we are here to see that concrete national commitments are strengthened and are supporting the agriculture extension system. We must improve coordination mechanisms across the actors. AFAAS, if it was in Kenya, tungesema mchezo iko kwako sasa. Now the ball is in your court to strengthen all the actors to ensure continuity of what we have started. We will not wait for the next extension week, but this should be a continuous process. We talked about it during the Coalition of Extension and Advisory Service, and you have been given the mandate to work through MAIF to ensure that all actors are working together. We are looking at how do we increase investment in extension and advisory service so that we shall not look at extension just as a public good, but we shall look at extension as a system that is sustainable, not focusing only on projects. Many times, and even as we were talking all this, all presentations, all side events is about the projects that we're implementing. What about that project when it comes to an end? What are our sustainability measures? Within this system of ours that we are starting, let's focus beyond the project and look at the sustainability. Currently, we understand the donor landscape, which is quite fragile. And we are not assured of projects being funded over and over as it was. So how are we going to ensure that we sustain the extension system? How are we going to ensure we sustain the different institutions that we are working for? Therefore, as AFAAS here, with this team here, we are committing to strengthen national agriculture extension system, to promote knowledge exchange and communities of practice, advanced professionalization frameworks. You see the way I'm looking. If it doesn't deliver, it's not about me. I am speaking and she's here. So we thank God for the outcome of this extension week. And here as AFAAS, we are standing here to say, well done. And we are here to stand with all of you to ensure a difference in agriculture and extension advisory system in Uganda. Can you imagine Uganda failing? And we are stationed in Uganda. Well done, team. Congratulations.
Let us add another great appreciation for our ED AFAAS for giving us very, very strong direction, support, but also challenging us to even put in more. And I know we will put more by God's grace. She has emphasized the need to implement how the AU Commissioner insists on implementing. And I'm glad to announce that GIZ has agreed to support our design and implementing of a follow-up plan, especially to the northern Uganda districts. Can we give GIZ a great clap? And I know our division is also to support us. I know that's coming. I already pinched Andrew, and I think Andrew has pinched Tony. I pitched, actually. Pinched and pitched that they think about a follow-up support to us. And again, thank you, all of you partners, for the